Hey guys, in this video, I'm gonna teach you how to get more foam out of your foam cannon without changing your soap, without changing your water, without changing your pressure washer, but just by changing a little $3 tool. What's going on guys? Luke here with Wilson Auto Detailing. So the foam cannon that you see me using in this video is nothing but a generic foam cannon. It's nothing fancy. It was like 30 bucks. Now, in any given foam cannon, you have these different size orifices, okay? And so this is essentially how the, let's just say foam in the water is pushed through the foam cannon itself, right? So let's think about it like this. If you have a larger diameter hose, you're gonna have less pressure. Whereas if you tighten that hose to like the size of a coffee straw, when you push liquid or push water through it, you're gonna get more pressure. Well, these little orifices can be bought on Amazon. And so the one that I purchased is 1.1 millimeter in diameter. So before I change anything out on the foam cannon, I want you guys to see me using this foam cannon just in regular day-to-day operations without changing anything. And you can see that the foam coming out of the foam cannon looks fantastic. It's laying on the paint just like any other foam would. And I'm not even gonna tell you what kind of soap I'm using because it doesn't actually matter what soap you're using. The point here is to change one little tool without changing the soap and to see what happens. Now, I wanna show you guys a couple different things. Number one, you can see some close-ups of the suds. They look fantastic. But if we pull back, what I could see in person is that those suds over time would fall off the paint relatively quickly. They're not quite as sticky. And so in some ways you might interpret this when you're using a foam cannon as the foam cannon not being so good or being kind of cheap or pushing too much water through and not mixing enough with the soap or not mixing enough soap in the canister or in the foam cannon in the first place. And all of those sorts of assumptions make total sense, right, when you're using a foam cannon because those are all things that will affect the suds. But what I want to do now is go ahead and switch the orifice. Basically what I did was take a wrench, I unscrewed the tiny little quick disconnect part that of course connects into the end of my pressure washer. Then you can take a flathead screwdriver and you can actually use that flathead to just barely unscrew the orifice itself. Now you should note that if you've been using the foam cannon that you're doing this on for a while, you might have some rust in both of these pieces and it is actually hard to get it off. So some WD-40 might help you or just some brute strength, and try not to break anything like I did when I was doing this. But you take that flathead, unscrew the orifice, take it out and replace it with the smaller one. All that does is shrink the hole that everything is being pushed through. And so again, we're gonna kind of increase the pressure through which we're producing the foam, okay? And the idea is if we create a smaller orifice, we're gonna create more foam because we've got, again, more pressure, more buildup, more, in some sense, atomization of the water. That's not exactly right, but that's kind of what's happening. So now that I've changed the orifice out, let's go ahead and take a look at the exact same foam cannon, but with a different orifice, okay? So same solution, same dilution, same water, same soap, everything. And what you can see is that I would describe this foam as like way more sticky, okay? So this is the kind of foam that gets a lot of views on YouTube, a lot of views on Instagram, a lot of views on social media. People love seeing this because it's kind of like painting a car. When you throw the foam on top, it just sticks to the windows, sticks to the sides of the car. It doesn't move whatsoever. When the foam does fall off, it kind of falls off in these really big clumps. And so without a doubt, I can say that these little maybe $6.99, $9.99 orifices that come in a 2-pack on Amazon dramatically change the type of foam or the quantity of foam or like the volume of foam that you're getting with the most generic foam cannon there is. And so the idea here for detailers is just that if we can get foam that sits on the paint longer, then it's naturally going to produce a better pre-foaming, pre-washing process, and we might be able to remove more surface dirt without having to actually touch the car. Well, whether or not you actually even want the foam to stick to the paint is kind of another question, because if you're out in the sun, you might want it to fall down so that it's not sticking there and drying, and then you have to reactivate it with more foam. And so for mobile detailers, you actually might want a type of foam that falls off a little bit quicker, but without a doubt, changing nothing but the orifice dramatically improved the suds in this particular scenario. The volume was way bigger the second time around, and of course you guys can see the post shots of that foam cannon after the orifice was changed. Dramatically different. So guys, this video was designed to be short and to the point, just to share with you guys the data here. This is exactly what happened before and after. It was clear you get bigger foam, and that's one way you can immediately improve the results with your foam cannon, no matter what kind of generic foam cannon you're using, without changing anything and spending like $6. So if you want to check out those orifices or just a generic foam cannon, I will link up all that stuff in the YouTube description box below. And if you want to get my tools and products list for every part of the detail process, interior and exterior, for free, I created a resource called the Pro Detailing Toolbox. It is a video by video, module by module, PDF by PDF explanation of each product and each tool I think you need in the detailing world. I don't work with any of these companies, so none of that is sponsored. It's just the tools and products I think you should have that I've gathered over the last 13 years, and I have a lot of experience using all of them. That resource is in the YouTube description box below as well. From Luke here at Wilson Auto Detailing, thank you for watching. A great detailer is always learning, and I will see you guys in the next video.